Well, good Sunday afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Kristen Hampton's Hot Trash Cooking Show, where this is going to be really good because what I have done for you today is come up with a really, well, I didn't come up with it, my aunt came up with it. Well, she didn't come up with it, the Joys of Cooking came up with it. Oops, that's on too hot. But we made it better. So this is called asparagus soup or cream of asparagus soup or whatever you want to call it that makes it sound like you got money, because sometimes people are like, ew, asparagus soup. But when I tell you, if you like asparagus, you're gonna love this times a million. If you don't like asparagus, you're gonna hate it. Okay, so just don't worry about that. And I'm gonna get right to getting. It's got like 4 main ingredients in it. We got about 2.5 pounds of asparagus, and I'm gonna show you how to get those ready in a second. 1 whole chopped onion, not too big, not too small. Some olive oil. I'm gonna put in this hot pot, not too much, not too lot. And some chicken stock, and we're gonna bulk that up if it's not flavorful enough with some better than bouillon later on. Don't put that in yet. Okay, I'm just gonna put this onion in here and let that get to getting. Put a little salt and pepper, good little bit of salt and pepper. Put that in there. P.S. One time I was at my aunt's house and she was like, "Hey, do you want some asparagus soup?" And I was like, "Gross, no." What? You mean like asparagus? What is that? She's like, "It's asparagus in a soup." And I was like, "No." Anyway, I had it, and it's my favorite thing in the entire world. And look at this skill. Look at this level of skill. It's probably like a 6 or a 7. I'm not even really looking at it. And okay, you know what? Everything's backwards for me, so I'm going to do a quick onion toss. Look at that. Oh my God, this is talent. I'm sorry. I said that was like a level 1. I'm sorry, I just thought that was, okay, moving on. There's just like 4 basic ingredients, and if you don't have them, then probably the asparagus is the only thing you don't have. But let's just say you've never made asparagus before, and you're like, well, how do I do that? So this is what the asparagus looks like when you get it, and I'm gonna be honest, this was on sale at the store, and I think I can see why. Because see this bottom in here, it's all wrinkly and gross looking, and it's all bendy. That means a good part of this is going to be like gross and chewy and woody and nasty. So the way you, hey, calm down. The way you fix up asparagus is you do a little bend here and see where it snaps. See where that snap is? That's about the length. And I made all these just about that length, okay? So I've already got those done up, and that's how you do that. And you just gotta throw this away. Even though it's sad, that part's gross. See? Look in there. Ah, don't do that. Anyway, that's that. So you can do that. Once you figure out the general length of them, you can just go cut through them with a knife, okay? So I got all these. Let me move this up here. Can y'all see this down here? If you can't see this, swipe to the right and the comments will go away. So you take your asparagus and basically even them out on the little, basically that's their hair. So you're gonna chop their hair. Normally they're a little bit skinnier, but these are kind of big. So like right where the hair part starts, chop that in half and then chop that in half, move that to the side and put this in a bowl, okay? Oh my God, I need another bowl. No, I don't, I'm fine. We're just gonna rough chop this. This is the part that's gonna go in the soup first. Don't worry about if these are perfect. Don't worry about if they fall on the floor because that's just fine, okay? Don't worry about it. Get those little bits over there. Remember the hair part. Chop that in half and then half again. So we're gonna have some hunks of the hair part saved in a separate bowl, okay? Once again, rough chop, ain't no thing. Give this a shake so it doesn't get burned. I'm tempting fate. I'm tempting fate. Whew. That is just supreme skill. Okay, move this. I wish I had another bowl. We could eat asparagus raw, it's fine. Nobody's gonna get hurt. Oh boy, I wish I had another bowl, it's fine. Put these over like this. Try and get through all these. 1, 2. Step aside, please. It's okay if you get the hair part into the part that goes in this base. Don't freak out about it. So basically we're putting all the asparagus stumps into this soup part. Oh, if I only had a bowl, a separate bowl, that'd be fine. But don't worry about it. I don't need it that bad, okay? I found a bowl. I found a bowl. Put this back in the bowl that you started with so you don't use a lot of bowls, okay? And just there. Put that back in there. Thank you so much. Thank you. So sweet. Okay, put these in there. Okay, these are the last ones. Perfect, just like so. Okay. That like that. In half. Ooh, I do these 3 times. So these are going to be, once this soup gets done cooking, because all of these asparagus bits are going to be cooked really well down in this stock. These are the little bits I'm going to throw back in, and they're just going to float around and be kind of like, that's a fun little bit I just got. Ooh, that was a good bite is what people are going to say. Well, first they're going to be like, gross, nobody wants your asparagus soup. And then they're going to try it, and they're going to be like, that's the best thing I've ever had in my life. Can we be best friends? And you're going to be like, no, I already have a best friend. And they're going to be like, well, can I be like best friend number 2? And you'll be like, sure, whatever. But then you're just lying because you already have a second best friend too, but you didn't want to be rude. Go ahead and dump that in there. With that onion, rinse your nasty hands because they got asparagus stuff all over them. Move things out of the way because clutterness is next to Satanism, basically. Okay? Put this here. See, these are your little bits we're going to save until it's almost done. I'm going to slide this over here a little bit. Oops, throw that out. Where's my spoon? Yes? Nope, don't tempt fate. Don't tempt fate. Okay? Stir this around a good bit. Now, I could have used a bigger pot, but I'm going to be completely honest. Later on, I've got to use my immersion blender, which is this thing, and I'm scared to use it on my good pot because I'm afraid it'll scrape the bottom. So I'm going to use it on this pot that costs like $10. So if it gets messed up, it gets messed up. Put a little more salt and pepper in there. Turn that on like 1,000 because no one has time for this. P.S. This doesn't take long at all if you just don't talk so daggone much. And if you just got to run your mouth, even then it'll still only take like 5 minutes extra. And you know, you can run your mouth if you want because it's your kitchen. And thank you so much for coming here with me today in my kitchen because it's like 5,600 people are just sitting here and we're just chatting, you know, talking about life and whatever. How was everybody's week? Don't answer that. Thank you. So let that cook just a minute. I'm gonna pretend it's been cooking for some more minutes. You're just gonna saute it just a hair. P.S. If you don't want to use olive oil, you can use butter for a little bit of an extra richness. But I like to use olive oil because I can do what I want. Hang on, put this back over here. Okay? So you're probably like, hey, how much chicken stock do I put in there? Because the next step is just to dump that chicken stock in there. I don't have a specific amount for you. You hear that cooking? Smells pretty good too. You know what it smells like? Asparagus and onions. You know why? Because it's asparagus and onions, and that's it. This is one of the most simple soups you'll ever make in your entire life. But when I tell you it's very asparagus-y and delicious, just go dumping that in there. I'll quiet you down pretty quick. Okay, so whatever kind of pan you have this in, that's probably enough. Whatever kind of pan you have this in, see how I've just let it cover that asparagus stuff? They're just floating. So that's going to come to a boil, and because we're in a hurry, and you can make this in a hurry too, you can let it simmer kind of slow, but I don't know why you would want to do that because to be honest with you, I'm a little bit in a rush to eat it because it's very good. So I'm going to let that boil, and while that happens, I'm just going to talk about something else. Oh, I know what we can talk about. We can talk about how I ordered bread from the store and I didn't know it was going to be this big. On the picture, it looked like it was half this size. And then, so I ordered 3 of them because I was going to give this to 3 of our friends. And so now I just have all this bread. And now I look, the grocery delivery lady was like, wow, you sure do like bread hoarder. Now I'm a bread hoarder. And when I die, they're just going to come find loaves upon loaves upon loaves of bread in my house with mold on them. Okay, now what will we talk about? I know what we'll talk about. We'll talk about asparagus, and you know what happens when you eat asparagus. If you're not an avid asparagus eater, did I already put salt back in there? It won't hurt to put a little more, let's be honest. if you're an avid asparagus eater, you will know that just about half an hour to just a few hours after you eat asparagus, how do we say this? You might go to the restroom and be like, what's happening to me? Because you know what? Everybody pees. And most people, there's like a gene. Anyways, asparagus can make your pee-pee be pew-pew. Pretty bad. And I was just going to see if anyone happened to know why that happens. Go ahead with your best guesses. What's your favorite dish to make? Are you asking me? I'm guessing. I don't know. It might be this because it's super easy. And it's already kind of starting to get a little boily. See? Look up there. So easy and delicious. By the way, all we have is about 2.5 pounds of chopped up asparagus and 1 onion. And see, we left the hair part off the asparagus, and we're going to leave that raw for now in a little side bowl, or a SB. That one's too big. I should eat it. P.S. This asparagus is not the best asparagus I've ever had. But when it's like in season and it's like the really good asparagus, we can fix that because we're just going to have to flavor it up a little bit. But straight out of the gate, it's like, oh, you know, it's like those. You remember how you look back at pictures of you when you were in elementary school and you're like, oh, you know, when you were in that awkward stage? And you're like, and Pete, you know, your mom still loved you because she knew you would one day blossom. But there was still that bit of time where she had to look at you every day and be like, what have I done? Anyway, that's about what this asparagus is like. You know, just a little Hello, everyone. Look at you, Shay Davenport, catching me live again. Heck yes, girl. P.S. You can go on my page and there's a little button in those dots that's like, see all posts first or get notified about posts or something like that. If you've been missing my lives, there's a button you can go to on my page and push it and something's happened. When enzymes in the human digestive tract break down the asparagus acid, it's naturally present in the vegetable. Come on, see more. Don't go so fast. Please. Come on, please, I'd like to see more. It makes your pee stinky. Okay, so that can be a little bit, if you don't eat asparagus, some people that doesn't happen to. I'm not sure why. My sister can't smell the stinky pee, but my parents and I can. Yeah, some people have stinky pee from asparagus and some don't. And it usually happens like right after you've had it. It doesn't take too long at all. So sometimes you forget and you're like, and then you're like, oh yeah, I ate asparagus. Gross. I'm just going to go ahead and say, because this is not the most flavorful thing in the world, I'm going to jazz it up with a little better than bouillon. This is what I had left in the thing, and I already put some hot water in it to get everything out of there. I'm just going to dump that in there. And here in a second, so this is one of those soups that we're going to puree. So you're probably like, well, how do you know if it's going to taste good if it's not all pureed together? If you taste the broth, and the broth tastes pretty good, you're probably going to be okay once everything gets buzzed up. But you're going to keep it in the thing here, and once you buzz it up, you're going to be like, well, that's gross, and then you can season it some more. Your mac and cheese is delish. Made it after watching. Thank you, Jeannie Applegate. I know this isn't a common opinion, but I actually love asparagus. It's delicious roasted. I think a lot of people love asparagus. Have we got a lot of asparagus haters here? I love asparagus and I love soup. Well, this is a dish just for you. Once again, when my aunt made this for me, I was like, that sounds disgusting. But she always has like 60s, can't hear you or see you. Loud, loud.
Same for me. I thought the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Tara is saying, I'm sorry, I can't hear because this thing. I was like, do you want me to make you some asparagus soup? And she was like, because it sounds disgusting when you eat it. P.S. My aunt always has like 55 soups all the time, and never has one of them been undelicious. Even when she's like, I have some Cheerio and buttermilk and grits casserole kale soup, and you're like, that's disgusting. It's delicious every single time. And she makes all the food, and she's the best cook in the entire world, besides my mom. That wasn't true. I made a lie. I told a lie. I'm not good at lying because sometimes when I lie, I'm like, hey, I lied. Immediately after the lie. My mom's a pretty good cook, but oh my goodness, look, it's starting to boil. So that's good, you know? So you want to get them, they're going to start turning nice bright green neon color. You want them to go a little bit beyond that. How long has this been going on? How long? If you, you could probably make this go a little bit faster. But I feel like my talking has not impeded the process at all, because unless I haven't really just stood here and been talking and not doing. More doing and less talking is what some people have said, and that's okay. Because if you stumbled upon this cooking show and you're like, what the hot trash is this? Well, the first thing out of my mouth was Kristen Hampton's Hot Trash Cooking Show. It's not a real cooking show per se, but it sort of is. But it's not really, but it is. Because I'm showing you how to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, or if you're scared to cook, or if you don't have anything that you think you can cook, you can make this. You can chop asparagus, you can chop an onion, you can put it in a pan with some olive oil, you can heat it up, you can put some of this in there, you can stir that around, you can put some salt and pepper. Please don't forget the salt and pepper if you're just learning to cook. It's important. Some people might say you could add garlic to this, and I asked my aunt that, and it was real cute. She said, no, I feel like the garlic would just knock the asparagus over the head. And I thought that was a good way to think about it. You know, because garlic is very powerful, and asparagus is just but a meat vegetable that never works out and never exercises. So garlic essentially would just overpower it. So don't do that. But you can if you want, and you can also add lots of other things in here. Like some people, while it's still just the olive oil or the butter and the onions in there before you put the stock in, you can put a tablespoon or two of flour and stir that around until that flour cooks some. And then you can add the stock in there, and that's called a roux. And then you boil it, and it will thicken. But I kind of like mine just like this, without those extra carbohydrates, because who needs those extra carbohydrates anyway? And it's going to be fairly thick, but I kind of like mine thin because it's like one of those soups, like a chicken noodle soup, that's just delicious when you're sick or when you're not sick. Just leave it and stop stirring. You know, you're my... Well, thank you, Cheryl. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Where'd you get that container that you're using for your salt? Tara, didn't you buy me that salt thing? Wait, I'll tell you what it says on it. Totally bamboo salt. She thinks she got it at Bed Bath & Beyond, but it's salt thing, and it's got a little, I don't know if you can see it right there, is a little magnet. See? You can check Amazon and all that jazz, okay? Come on, hurry up. Longest part of this whole process is boiling this stuff down. And when I tell you though, anyway, you could put a potato in here if you want to thicken it up a little bit. What else could you put in here? Any other ideas? Who needs carbs when you have 3 loaves of bread? I'm sorry, I just spit. Gross, it's fine, don't worry about it. I like your spoon. Where can you get it? When I tell you, if I knew where I got this spoon, I would be a rich woman, because of all the questions anybody's asked or all the comments, and I'm even counting the ones that are like, you're stupid or you talk too much. The #1 comment in my little hot trash cooking show is, where did you get that spoonula? It's like a spoon and a spatula. I have looked everywhere and I don't know. Let's just say that when I moved into this house, it was already here, and I'm pretty sure Tara had it from when she was like a kid or something, and somebody probably gave it to her, and she doesn't really care because she doesn't really care about cooking tools. But I've looked everywhere for it, and I have no idea. It's just a short little thing, and it's got a straight edge there, and it's a spoon. It's a serrated, slotted spoon, or it's a little spatula. So there's that. That spoonula's on Amazon? Boy, you better tell me. Again. Whoop, whoop. Yay. Well, thank you, Valerie. Sorry. Glasses. I'm gonna get glasses. Don't you worry about it. Even instant potatoes will help thicken it. So try it like this first, and if you don't like it like this, make it thicker the next time. I like it a little bit thin, but we're still not done, because once I buzz it, I'm gonna finish it up. Where did I put it? Hold on, let me just bite that because I'm kind of hungry. Thank you. I asked like 7 times. There were too many comments. Laura, I see it. P.S. I cannot see anywhere near all the comments. If you see, you're not seeing all the comments anywhere near. There's so many comments flying through, and it only shows like boop boop boop. That might very well be a South Dakota spinula. Okay, let's see where we're at with this process.
Somebody just said that they found it at Dollar General.
Somebody found it at Dollar General? You better get after it. Let me taste this. Hang on. Let's see if it's done. Smells like asparagus and onion and chicken stock. Please don't be hot. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Okay. Beep boop. So it's not, it doesn't have much of a bite left to it. You just want to cook it just that much. Now the scary part. Hey Tara. Here, can you come here? Because I want to show this and I can't move it over. Normally I would put this in the sink to do this, but I'm sure it'll be fine just like this because I'm going to get Tara with some protective gear to come hold the pan in place. Tell you what we can at least do. No, I'm going to leave that there. This is your protective gear. Okay. If you could just hold that there. God, that hurts. You got to hold it. Like, okay. We're just going to buzz it right up. You can make this in less than 30 minutes if you don't talk so jagga much. More doing, less talking. I have a spinula that looks just like yours. I love it and use it for everything. If anybody knows where you get this thing, please let me know. Okay. Also, this is an induction cooktop, so it is not gonna burn. It's not gonna melt the cable here when it touches it. It's not gonna catch anything on fire because it only conducts heat to the induction surface thing that it's on. Okay? Could you hold that, please? No worries. Don't worry about it. This is gonna be fine. Once again, normally I would do this in the sink, but it would take a whole lot of moving for me to move all the way over there to the sink, and I have a lot of trash in it, so we're just gonna do this here. My advice to you is do this over the sink and try not to set yourself on fire. P.S. That's my concentration face. Don't make fun of it. We need to turn this bad boy up. Here we go. Okay, you ready? You got it? Mm-hmm. I'm very hot because I'm nervous. I get hot when I get nervous, or perhaps I'm having hot flashes. Who knows? That's a little soon for that. Okay, that was a little much. Okay. Nice and pureed, just like that. It's a little bubbly, but don't worry about that because we're gonna stir it on out of here. Okay, now, first things first. Okay. See, this may be a little bit too thin for you. I like it just like this. If this is too thin, can you see that? We're gonna make it even thinner here in a second with adding, hold on, let me taste this to make sure it's good. I know it's good, I don't even know. If this is too thin for you, remember, like I said, when you're in that part where you've got the asparagus in with the olive oil or with the butter, the asparagus and the onions together before you put the stock in, put about 2 tablespoons of flour in there and stir that around real good until that flour gets cooked, and then put your stock on top of that and bring it to a boil, and you'll have a nice thick little soup there. It thickens it up. Oh my God, did it have it showing? Was it showing? No. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I don't know.
Children are watching. Mm-hmm. I did that. Okay, I'm not done yet. Hold on, just hold on. Want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not done yet. But this, just like this, all by itself, if you are, hold on. If you are low fat, low carb, this is olive oil, asparagus, chicken stock, onions, salt and pepper, and that's pretty much it. This is a good soup just like this. Hold on, let me bring it over here. Oh, gotta come get it. Oh, here, it's hot. Tara doesn't want to be on camera today because I cut her hair. You want to show it?
No.
Okay. I've been cutting her hair since it grew back from chemo, and it used to be like, just do what you want, because you know she went from not having hair, no hair, don't care, to only having a little hair, and she's like, whatever, I don't care. Now that it's like grown out with potential to be adorable, it's very scary, and it's hard to cut hair when you don't know how to cut hair, and you've only watched YouTube videos. And today, we decided to do it in the shower because it was too cold outside. Standing in the shower, and I'm running those buzzers through, and then you hear that old and I said, uh-oh. And it just, you know, I think it's fine. It'll grow right back. It'll grow out. That's what we've been saying, okay? So just, you calm down and stay there, and I'll be right back. Feels good in the refrigerator. So, once again, oh, P.S. if you're vegetarian or vegan, instead of using the chicken stock here, get you some better than bouillon vegetable. P.S. hashtag, not sponsored. This is just my favorite thing in the world, and I put it in everything. Get some vegetable and just make it with a vegetable stock instead of chicken. And then, Viola, you've got a vegetable, you know, vegetarian deliciousness soup, and just yum. Finish that with a little cream. You don't have to put that in there. I think it adds a little, and then you dump this in there, and then these little bits are going to be floating around, so it's not so like, ew, this is just some liquid. And then put that back on and cook that for a little. Found it. I normally would have done this in a larger pot, but once again, I didn't want my good pot to get messed up. Don't worry about that trash that's over there. Okay, watch this. So we can pretend it's done, because you'll cook this for about another 5 minutes, and you'll get a tiny little bowl, because you just have tiny little friends. And put some of that in there like that. And that's how you do it. Look how pretty that is. Okay? And so these things just kind of sit there along the top. Okay. Hashtag thumbnail. Hold on. Look cute. Look professional. Don't try to take that off. Here. No one looks like that. No one does that whole open mouth thing. Why does my mouth open? Am I screaming? Is a fly gonna come into it? Okay. Don't like that one either. Hold on. Oh God, that's it. That's totally it. Oh my God, I look amazing. I look amazing. Oh, there. Oh my God, it looks so professional. It's like a perfect screenshot. Huh. I think I could probably be a ventriloquist if I wanted to, because I'm pretty good at talking without moving my mouth. Could you imagine that? Me, good at talking. Either with my mouth moving or with my mouth not moving. I would like to thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's been a tough week for everybody. I just hope that I can remind you that kindness, I'm just going to dump this back in here pretending. I know that's not very professional, but it's not done cooking, okay? Kindness is 100% always an option. You can be mean to somebody or you can be nice to them. Please choose to be nice, especially right now, especially in these times. You yelling at somebody on the internet probably ain't gonna change a whole bunch of nothing. You telling people that their cooking show is stupid probably ain't gonna change a whole bunch of nothing, okay? So y'all have a great week coming up, and everybody just be nice and enjoy your crumb of asparagus bisque. What's a bisque? Call it a bisque. Crumb of asparagus, house-made crumb of asparagus bisque. P.S. if you no one that wants the recipe is going to stick around enough to actually see this. So they're going to be like, hey, oh good, the milk curdled, perfect. Don't worry about that. That's fine. That's fine. Shoot. Don't put milk in something that's that hot and then put it on 1,000 and then don't stir it, okay? There's a pro tip. It's just because I'm talking too much. It's because I talk too daggone much, okay? I don't remember what I was saying. Enjoy your creme of asparagus bisque and just have a good time. And just don't forget, just because something sounds disgusting doesn't mean that it is. It's gonna be on my tombstone. I hope y'all have a great week and be nice to people. Okay, bye now.